What is going on, fight fans and full-time family? We've got two lightweight champions. I'm not gonna lie, man. To sit here and pretend that Khabib Nurmagomedov has ever been the undisputed champion would be what I just said. It would be pretending. The fact that he's never fought Tony Ferguson and Tony Ferguson has still not lost. How can you use the word undisputed? That is one of the most disputed titles we've seen in a long time. And aside from when there's an interim belt, which Tony Ferguson was already the interim champion, and after this weekend, he might be the double interim champion, who's already fought multiple times since winning the first interim championship, which would be title defenses if the pesky Khabib wasn't in the way of things. And that's what Tony Ferguson is speaking on, man. And there's definitely a lot of merit to what Tony Ferguson is saying. He's coming out and he's ripping Khabib Nurmagomedov and declaring his fight for Justin Gaethje for the real championship. Now, just as I said with Khabib, it's the same for Tony Ferguson. This is not the real championship. This is an interim belt because there's still Khabib. Until Khabib fights the interim champion, and the winner of that fight will be the undisputed champion. But if Tony Ferguson wins this, how can you say he's the real champion if he never fights Khabib? If Justin Gaethje wins this, how can you say he's the real champion if he hasn't fought Khabib? None of these guys are the real champion, man. They're all just fucking really, really good lightweights. It's crazy. The lightweight division is so insane. And it has been. It's been stacked for the last few years. But there's for sure merit to what Tony Ferguson's saying. He said, I'm not going to answer a question, talking about a question asked to him about the media. He said, we're worrying about UFC 249, the fights with Justin Gaethje. Fuck Khabib. I'm going to be real. I want to say fuck Khabib. I'm defending my belt for the third time. This is for the real belt. This is not for an interim title. This is for the real championship. It's real championship only, buddy. He said, that dude's a bitch. I'm going to be real. Him and McNuggets, they both need to fucking retire. The only two real men out there are going to be me and Justin Gaethje. American motherfuckers. Oh, going Tony Ferguson, a nationalist out here. Whoa. He said it wasn't short notice talking about the fight with Gaethje. I've been training for fucking 6 to 7 months. As soon as we found out we're not fighting Khabib, I was already training in December. Obviously, conditioning's there, strength's there. My body's completely changed. Ah, man, Tony Ferguson is a savage, yo. I mean, not talking about what he just said, but just thinking about his career. He won the Ultimate Fighter at 170 pounds, and honestly, like, looking back at that, it kind of explains why Khabib, I mean, and it's hard to say, but I mean, fuck it, it is what it is. It kind of explains why Team Khabib may be a little reluctant to fight Tony Ferguson, man. You got a guy that's had success at 170 pounds, former wrestler, attacks from the bottom. That is not the ideal matchup for Khabib. At all. And so, the only thing Tony Ferguson really has going against him against Khabib is Father Time. Time is adding up. I mean, he's only got to fight one time over the last few years. One time per year. Now he's going on 36, 37 years old. And, you know, what, when he's 38, is he going to fight Khabib? That's not prime Tony Ferguson. 37, is that prime Tony Ferguson? We're not going to get to see Khabib versus prime Tony Ferguson, and that's unfortunate. And that's another conversation for another day, man. But yeah, Khabib, man, he would have his hands full with Tony Ferguson. I'll tell you that much. Justin Gaethje actually has a better matchup maybe against Tony Ferguson because, you know, Justin Gaethje's willing to take the damage, willing to sit in there, and he's also going to dish it back. Tony Ferguson has taken some damage in his career, even though he usually wins the fight still and deals more damage. But Justin Gaethje, man, I've talked about it in my prediction video. This is not the. It's almost an analogy. Tony Ferguson is to Khabib as Justin Gaethje is to Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson is a bad matchup for Khabib. Well, Justin Gaethje is a bad matchup for Tony Ferguson, if we're being honest. So, there's so much going on. I got so many thoughts and emotions about this whole matchmaking and Tony versus Khabib, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do too, man. Justin Gaethje, you can't hate the guy. He's coming in and doing his job. He might come in and completely ruin Tony versus Khabib, but you can't be mad at Justin Gaethje for it. It's a whole fucking little dilemma I got going on. But hey, I just can't wait to see the fights. That's all we can do is just sit and watch how it plays out. But as far as Tony Ferguson ripping Khabib and saying Khabib's not the real champion, I understand where he's coming from completely. There's not a real lightweight champion right now. And the winner of this fight's not the real lightweight champion. We're not going to have a real lightweight champion until the winner of this fight fights Khabib. That's the only time. And with that being said, man, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments and in the Discord or in the Discord. Link is in the description. I'm out.